Okay, so this is the lower back tension relief class. We'll begin our breathing exercises during the course of the first half wind removing pose, and settle because there's quite a lot to get through. So we'll begin with the first shape. So coming onto your back, and make sure that you have your sandbag close by. A strap is also useful, and a cushion next to you as well will be helpful. Keep the strap next to you. If you have a sore lower back, you can always take your blanket and place it underneath the sacrum, under the lower back. And this can just help. This very slight little raise in the pelvis can help you to release some of the compression in the lower back. Squiggle the shoulders out, start to settle into the mat, and then gently gather your left knee and bring it into a half wind removing pose. You can then extend your right leg long. If you've got a sandbag, bring the sandbag over your left shin. Just find my timer. And if you feel comfortable with the sandbag there, it's not pinching into your hip, you can keep it there. If you feel this deep pinching sensation in the hip and you feel as though the sandbag's too much straight off the bat, just take it off. And that's okay too. For some of you like Vardine who needs that little bit of extra compression in the joints, interlacing your hands around your sandbag and still bringing that thigh closer to you could feel good. Otherwise, relax your arms by your side and let the sandbag do the work. We're going to take 5 long straw breaths. That is your exhale out of your mouth. Each exhale becoming longer than the previous. The inhales relaxed and unhurried. And complete the exhale breath out of softly parted lips. With your final exhale out of the mouth, allow yourself to completely relax. The right leg is soft and released. No need to flex the foot. The shoulders are now softening as well. Beautiful. Now, you might choose, bend the left knee, it's right foot and place it on the ground, the right knee. You might choose to bring your sandbag onto your left foot and straighten the leg and just see how that feels. Or move the sandbag off to the side, bring your strap around the ball of the left foot and then draw the leg towards you. If you're enjoying the sandbag, squiggle the sandbag over the heel a little bit more so that when you allow the leg to deepen towards you, you're getting quite a deep stretch, but the sandbag is also encouraging the hip, a ball joint deep into the hip as well. Please listen to your knee. If your knee is going, not so sure about that, then ditch the sandbag and just use the strap. Because of the weight of the sandbag, you can really take it deep, or you can press your hand into your shin And brace the arm there, keeping the leg where it is and just enjoying that very strong stretch through the back of the leg. Then if it's feeling good and the pelvis is still comfortable, you can straighten your right leg. This will increase the stretch through the left yet again by straightening the right leg, but we're seeking the lower back stretch. So that lengthening can give you that little bit into the lower back. Again, you're finding your place. So these are edges that we're playing really carefully and sensitively. Because each edge, as you come towards it, you need to listen in to the information being offered by the body. Is it too much? Is there too much in the joint? Does it feel accessible or am I pushing myself? You don't necessarily want to push yourself, but you do want to feel the good stretch. Of course, you could have started with the sandbag and then released it. It's entirely up to you. Just going to feel what feels good for me. Interesting, different sensations. Take a few more breaths, yeah. I'm enjoying the exhale breath, even as it moves through the nose. Feeling how the nervous system is slowly becoming better regulated as you move deeper into your practice. Beautiful. If you've got a strap, take it off. If you've got a sandbag, gently hold it. Bend the left knee and place the foot on the ground. Keep the right leg long for a moment and just relax the thigh and leg. We're going to softly roll over and onto your side, through your right side, onto all fours, and then immediately step your left foot forward. And now, I'm going to use the blanket underneath my knee. And now, as you drop into the hip for your dragon, you're going to feel all sorts of things in the pelvis. There's a lot of flow happening around the pelvis now as you get into your dragon. And it's quite a nice sequence to reach into the dragon the previous way of getting here, so that once you're in the shape, really enjoying the depth being offered and also the stretch and the compression in some of the tissues. Wonderful place to close your eyes and just sink in. Allow yourself to pick up a relaxed state in the mind. half a minute more here. Beautiful. Gently beginning to shift the weight of the hips back. Go slow, go slow. And just rock it out a couple of times. We've created a lot of space, particularly in that left hip. So we're going to absorb that space and really enjoy it in our pigeon. Heel toe the left foot over to the right side and settle down into your pigeon, sleeping pigeon, or in yin we call it swan. And once finding the shape, relax, relax, relax ever deeper. Remember that a cushion could feel really good in front of you, so that you're draping your body over the cushion if you wish. If you're comfortable without, then that's also fine. But just make sure you're not rolling too far over to the right or the left. If your knee on the left side feels uncomfortable, just slide a blanket between the thigh and the calf, and that will help with that sense of discomfort. It just needs to be a blanket fold over once or twice. And you're actively seeking the quiet here, just being in the stillness. We'll be here for another minute and a half. The last two breaths, you might choose to gently exhale through the lips. And And from here, pressing your hands into the ground. I'm going to offer two choices depending on whether you want to move into a deep, restful relaxation, in which case you're going to take child's pose and let the lower back stretch out in child's pose, simply letting go and softening in the shape. Or you can move through downward facing dog and then into a dangle. If you don't enjoy a dangle, which some people don't, then stay in your child's pose. But if you want 2 minutes in a dangle rather than a child, then from downward facing dog, you can slowly walk your hands back. And then from here, hold opposite elbows and simply stretch it out in your dangle. Both are perfect. So choose what feels good for you. Five long breaths. Ron, you can come onto hands and knees. Body, just walk your hands forward and then softly bring your knees to the mat. And from here, gently slip on over to your back once again. Taking it to the right side now. Bring your right knee in towards you, and if it feels good for you, use a sandbag. If it doesn't feel good, don't use the sandbag. And I know that in my left hip, I certainly struggle a little bit more with the sandbag. It pinches. My right feels good. So listen to both sides and maybe treat the two sides as they deserve, which might be differently. Not always going to be the same, and it doesn't mean you have to force one side of your body into what the other side can manage. That's absolutely not the case at all. Maybe one side felt good with the sandbag and the other doesn't, and that's okay. Just a reminder that you can straighten the left leg if that feels mindful, otherwise keeping the knee bent is also perfect. With each exhale breath, explore a sense of deepening, softening in the belly. Check all the places that the leg is relaxed, the extended leg, that the face is relaxed, and so are your shoulders up. You can always use a strap around the shin if your shoulders get too tense. Final long breath. And then we're taking this right leg up into the lengthened leg. Bend the left knee first and place the foot on the ground. Either ditch the sandbag or keep it. And you can either place the sandbag towards the right heel and straighten the leg, or place a strap around your right leg and then do big toe pose on the right side. You can then think about straightening the left leg again if that feels mindful for you. If you're using a sandbag, you can press your hand to the shin and brace that arm, or just let it go and allow the full weight of the sandbag to go out the length of the hamstring. If there's any pressure at all on the knee, do not use a sandbag. Please use a strap. Keep thinking about relaxing into the inner thigh, the groin, deep into the hip socket. Relax the spaces. Three more breaths. Gently removing the strap or sandbag, bend the right knee. Pause a moment. And then we'll roll on over to take our dragon. Coming up onto all fours, and then just stepping the right foot forward this time for that dragon. Again, you'll notice all sorts of flow. The pelvis is in a place of receiving. Receiving blood flow, receiving fluids. Each breath, taking that sensation of grace into the body. As you settle into your edge, be here, curious, always noticing. working with the difficult sensations as well. But after a long day of sitting in a chair, this will really help to release the lower back. And during the course of the evening, as you prepare a meal or walk and move around, you'll feel that freedom, particularly in the pelvis and the base of the spine. Good. Just 30 seconds more, half a minute. Definitely finding these hip openers quite difficult today for myself. I think there's a lot of emotional holding I wasn't even aware of in the body. It's so interesting because sometimes when you have to slow down, you have no choice but to hear the story, and oh, it's hard. Gently and slowly, taking your time, just work it out so that when we place the body in the pigeon now, it should be glorious. You can just relax and release into it. Using a cushion in front of you if you need, but heel toe that right foot over and come into the pigeon shape on the right side now. I think just because of where I feel like I need a soft place to land today, definitely going to use the cushion. And then just softening into the hips and bringing your body down so that we can come into a quiet, beautiful 3-minute pigeon. Opportunity to drop in and deep and just allow your thoughts to gently soak into the body, to be diffused so that they no longer hold such charge. When you diffuse the thoughts, you come into stillness and a place of peace. We're halfway through our pigeon, another minute and a half here of deepening and settling. Last 3 breaths. Gently beginning to take the migration out of the shape. Taking your time. And gently onto all fours. Take your cushion behind you. And we're moving straight into a squat. I would advise after the intensity of those shapes to sit on cushions, blocks, whatever you need to in your squat. However, if you want to take a freestanding squat, that's absolutely fine. But it really is okay to also just find a comfortable squat. And after that series, this squat is going to be very deep releasing. So let go, relax into it. Such deep hip work, such deep lower back release. And relax your body. As the body relaxes, relax your mind deeper. Beautiful. Once again, we're going to gently slip onto our back. So as you come out, you can simply flip over, and now we're going to move through a full wind removing pose. Keep your cushion close by in case when we move into the twist, you need a little bit of support. So once you're on your back, just try and lengthen out the lower back and then reach for your shins. If you want your sandbag, use a sandbag. You can also use a strap so that you can relax your shoulders by just holding the strap around the shins. So if you rather like the pressure of holding the palms, the wrists, or opposite elbows, that's perfect. And if you enjoy the sandbag, then use the sandbag. Really stretching out the lower back now with this one moving pose. So allowing the lower back to drop and the sacrum to drop into the ground as you draw the thighs close. Deep abdominal massage brings great relief into the large intestine. One more minute in your window moving pose. Beautiful. We'll now take it into a twist. So softly bring both knees over to your right side, place the sandbag across the top of the thigh, and then frame your face with your arms in a goalpost in the twist. So we're in a twist body, taking both knees over to your right side, sandbag on the thigh. Resting here, allowing that lower back to really tease open. Five more breaths here, body. And let's gently move it on over to the other side. Same again on the other side. Noticing if there's quite acute differences or just subtle differences between the two sides. Sometimes in a twist, you will really feel which side of the lower back is actually holding your tension. Soften in to receive. a few breaths. Now, Bardine, because it's just you and me left here, we're going to take the plow pose, otherwise known as snail in yin, if you wish. You know, it's a more challenging pose for some, but it can feel really amazing. So I want us to come into it in a specific way. Bardine, you can manage a plow today, yes? Okay. So taking the sandbag on top of the feet, slowly take the legs back, but keep the hips low. So it's not like that kind of plow. It's keeping your thighs close to your body and your legs overhead so that it's actually like a forward fold except on your back. There's a lot of compression in the lungs and in all sorts of places in this deep pose. Let's see how it feels for you. Really getting into the lower back now. If like me, Bardine, which I expect it is, and it's a very deep pose, you can just snuggle your nose between your shins and have your shins pressing into your forehead, and then you will feel complete. Last 5 breaths here, Bardine. Been incredible compression into the lungs, the back of the lungs particularly. The beauty is in the releasing in a moment. It will feel amazing. Taking your sandbag with you, gently bring it to the side, slowly lift legs, place the soles of the feet on the ground. Take your sandbag, bring it over your belly in constructive rest. This will now drop the lower back into the mat. And you are simply releasing completely in your constructive rest. Feel the deep release into the belly, the chest, the breath, deep gratitude into the spine. Maybe beginning to notice all the shifts that your body has gone through. Almost a series of decompression that has now given this extraordinary feeling of length into the spine and so much spaciousness in the lower back. Spaciousness that you'll truly feel when you come to your feet and walk again. We're just going to remain here for quite a bit longer. Guarding constructive rest gives energy to the body. It's like a very, very deep rest for the body. Almost like a power nap, simply by placing the body in this shape. And as we remain here for the next minute, just notice what emotional frequencies, colors, sensations come up for you. Could be in the form of freedom, or it could be in the form of discomfort, emotional discomfort. You feel that the head is not comfortable, just placing your blanket under the head. You want to feel really balanced in this shape. Find even breath. You might choose to focus on the count of the breath in and out for some cycles, so that you can embed this sense of balance, evenness through your body by bringing the breath to an equal length in and equal length out. Breath would now have simply taken over, even in and out. Noticing how the lungs are receiving the breath equally through both hemispheres. take one more minute in constructive rest. So gently, slowly begin to bring yourself back if you've drifted far. Let's very gently, body, roll onto your side and take a few moments on your side. Feel the space at the base of the spine. And then come onto all fours and taking your sandbag, bring it to the bottom of the spine. Keep your knees together. Place your belly over your thighs. Child's pose. Final shape. Again, the compression through the belly. Final stretch to the lower back. And noticing all that flow in the lower back at the end of this series. Take a long exhale out of your mouth. Gently begin to come up. And onto kneeling, lengthening through the spine and softening the shoulders. Coming up, Bardeen, slowly. Just sitting on your heel, letting the sandbag slide away from the lower back. Placing palms over heart space. Taking a moment to listen. As I listen, I feel deep gratitude for having this practice with you today, Bardeen, for falling into the deeper spaces of quiet and being able to do that with you. Because I know you understand, and for that I have so much gratitude. Thank you, my friend. May we experience our wholeness, and may we walk in the light. Namaste. Thank you, Bardeen, for taking prayer with me today. So much love.